Do you remember where you were in June 2017? I certainly don't, but at this time, something big happened that would change mobile gaming forever. It's June 2017, and a new Supercell game gets released to test for beta on all iOS devices in Canada. This was the beginning of the game we now know as Brawl Stars. Hey everyone, before I dive into the history of Brawl Stars, remember to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. We're doing a Brawl Pass giveaway, and your support helps you enter. A lot has happened in the 6 years the game has been out, and today we will be roughly covering everything that happened in this time period. Let's hop right in. At the start of beta, Brawl Stars used to be a portrait mode game like Clash Royale. They later changed this to become a landscape mode game, and that was definitely the right call. There were only 15 brawlers at the time, but this changed in July when Piper got added. Then in September, 2 more brawlers got added, Pam and Tara. Another exciting thing was a new mode, Brawl Ball. Back in the day, you didn't need to use one ammo to shoot the ball, and Mortis had a ridiculously long range, so Mortis was the best pick for sure. Moving on to December of 2017, and Daryl got introduced to the game. He seemed pretty normal until you saw his super roll distance. It had a range of 23.3 tiles, which is more than 3 times the distance it can roll right now. Then, there was a long time without an update, but in March of 2018, the game became Landscape. Power points were also added instead of Elixir, which you could use to upgrade either a brawler's HP, attack damage, or super damage. Fast forwarding 2 months later, and Penny and Frank got added, together with Duo Showdown, Trophy Road, a rework to Heist, Big Boxes, and Spectating Mode. 1 month later, and Brawl Stars was finally available on Android. Gems were also added to boxes in this time period, and then again, a long time without any updates. But this all changed in September when Mortis got remodeled. Event modifiers like meteors and energy drink were now a thing, and you could also take a look at your battle log to watch a replay, or just look at the opponents you faced. December 2018, the biggest month for Brawl Stars ever. That's right, this is the month when the game went global. Leon got added together with a completely new look to the game. Everything looked much more polished, and it started to look like the game we now have. 2019. Supercell started off the new year hot with the introduction of Gene. One small problem, every time Gene used his super, the game would crash. In February, Carl got added, together with the game mode Siege and a couple of new skins. 2 months later, and Rosa got added, one of the most broken brawlers on release ever. With an 80% shield that lasted 6 seconds, she was absolutely menacing. 4 days after she got released, an emergency nerf was given to her. Some more stuff happened this month, including a bow remodel, training cave, and you could now watch the highest trophy games in the world with Brawl TV. Then in May, BB got added. Another month later, and a new thrower was introduced to the game. That's right, it was Tig. Together with a Terra remodel, second star powers, star points, and the star shop, was this one of the biggest updates of the year. Back in the day, there were only 20 ranks. But in August of 2019, this all changed. 15 new ranks were here, together with a Piper remodel and a new brawler, 8-Bit. 8-Bit had such a broken star power that when he died, he respawned with full HP. This made it so Supercell tried to balance it, but in the end they gave up and replaced it with the star power we now know as Plugged In. Moving forward to September and the 4th ever legendary brawler got added, Sandy, El Primo got remodeled, and there were 2 new game modes, Takedown and Lone Star. Both of them weren't really a success, but it was still fun for maybe 10 minutes. In October, something else big happened. The precursor to Power League, Power Play, was now added. In this mode, you needed to play 3 matches per day to collect points. At the end of every 2-week season, you would get star points, which you could then use to buy cosmetics or boxes. Power Play wasn't the only thing that got added. Frank got a remodel, and Graveyard Shift was a new showdown mode. Then in November, one of the first collabs happened. There were now 6 new skins to buy, the Brown and Friends skins. In December, 2 more brawlers made an appearance, B and Max. There was also a new limited time game mode, Present Plunder. Moving on to 2020, and Mr. P was here together with Hot Zone. And then in March of 2020, a massive update happened. Introducing Gadgets. Every brawler now has their own unique ability that could be used 3 times every match. This really spiced up the game, making room for new strategies, and it was just more fun overall. Gadgets alone were already huge, But with the removal of tickets, which you could use to play the weekly events like Big Game and Robo Rumble, and a collab with PSG, this update seemed to be the biggest of the year. Only 2 months later, and probably the biggest Brawl Stars update ever happened. The Brawl Pass got added, a new way to progress which had tiers, a new brawler, skins, and so much more. Hot Zone got revamped, Gale and Nani were added, together with pin packs, quests, and a PAM remodel. Then in July of 2020, the second ever Brawl Pass season came. Surge was now here, together with a new weekend mode called Super City Rampage. You basically fought a Godzilla ripoff that chomped buildings. Was this all? No, it wasn't. Second gadgets got added and Crow got a remodel. You could now also use pins in matches and the trophy road got extended. In September, Colette got added, probably one of the worst brawlers ever on release. September was also the month when the now famous Star Park, Invest in the Future video was released. This was the start of the Brawl Stars lore. Moving on to October, and a new legendary brawler was introduced to the game, Amber. I just mentioned that second gadgets got added, but there were only 10 brawlers with a second gadget. In this update, a lot more brawlers got 2 gadgets, and there was now a map maker mode. Then in November, Lou got added. Not much happened during this update except for some new skins and new environment, but December made up for the lack of new content in November. However, 2 new brawlers were here, Byron and Edgar, with Edgar being the first ever brawler to be completely free to unlock during the Brawly days.